Today we are going to look at a reasoning problem. As you can see on the screen, the problem reads like this. 6 people named A, B, C, D, E and F are sitting in the dining car of a train, and they are each from 6 different cities in the US, and the following facts are known about them. Now a list of statements is given, and we have to analyze each of these statements separately and then put that data into a matrix which is shown in this figure here, in this sheet here. Currently this sheet, as you can see, is empty, and the data for this matrix would come from the problem statements which you could see in this problem here. So one by one we will go through each of the statements and try to fill in this matrix. And once we have filled in the matrix, we have to answer the questions which are mentioned at the end. So let us first try to fill in the matrix. Let's begin with the first statement. A and the man from New York are physicians. Now this statement has two pieces of information. One is a direct information and the other is indirect. The direct information, as you can see here, is A is a physician. The indirect information is the man from New York is also a physician, and when you say this together, that A and the man from New York are physicians, it means that A is not from the New York City. Though A is a physician, but he is not from the New York City. So let us put this information in the matrix sheet. So against A, we are going to put the profession as physician, and in the city column we are going to mention that he is not from New York. So this cross represents that he is not from New York. So we'll in here we'll mention New York and physician. So this is about that person who is not A but who is from New York and who is a physician. Currently we do not know out of B, C, D, E and F who is this person. So we are just putting that information a little away from this main piece of information. This is our main matrix which we have to fill in, and as you can see, I have listed the cities at the bottom here. So this piece of information, that the man from the New York is also a physician, that we are not able to currently fit in directly in here, and therefore we'll put it here separately. Now let us go to the next statement, which says that E and the woman from Chicago are teachers. Now as we did for the first statement, let us do the same for this second statement also. So E basically is a teacher, but she is not from Chicago, and the lady from Chicago is also a teacher. So let's put the information in front of E. So E is a teacher by profession, but she is not from Chicago, and let us mention that from Chicago this woman is a teacher. Okay, now because A is a physician, so he cannot be a teacher, and therefore he cannot be from Chicago as well, because the person from Chicago has to be a teacher, and because A is a physician and not a teacher, therefore A cannot be from Chicago as well. So let us put that piece of information as well. A is not from New York, A is not from Chicago. Now the same thing would apply for E as well. E is a teacher and hence not a physician, and therefore this person E cannot be from New York. Okay. It takes a little time to understand this logic, but once you are comfortable with this logic, you'll be able to proceed with this problem. Let's read the third statement. The person from Tulsa and C are engineers. So in front of C, we'll put the profession as engineer, and for Tulsa and engineer. Now once again, this C is not a physician nor a teacher, so this person cannot be from New York and cannot be from Chicago, also cannot be from Tulsa. Similarly, A also cannot be from Tulsa, and E also cannot be from Tulsa, because the person from Tulsa has to be an engineer, and a teacher is not an engineer, and therefore the teacher is not from Tulsa. Similarly, the physician is from New York, and because A is a physician and not an engineer, therefore A also cannot be from Tulsa. So let us proceed to the fourth statement. B and F are veterans of the Gulf War, but the person from Tulsa has never served in the military. So in front of B and F, profession, we'll say they are Gulf War veterans. Now a thing to be noted here is that this is a background. The Gulf War, being a Gulf War veteran is a background, and it is in no way a profession. For example, somebody could be a Gulf War veteran and then later in the later life they could work as a whatever physician, engineer or a teacher. So here we just have a background of B and F, that they are Gulf War veterans, but the statement says that the person from Tulsa has never worked in military. Now these two people, B and F, they have already worked in the military, and hence therefore they cannot be from Tulsa. So I'll put that information here. Now that is the only information known about these two people, B and F, that they have worked in the military, and because they have worked in the military they cannot be from Tulsa. Okay. Now let's analyze the fifth statement. The person from Milwaukee is older than A. So what this tells us indirectly is that A is not from Milwaukee. So let us write down that in front of A. A is not from Milwaukee. Sixth statement, the person from Atlanta is older than C. So C is not from Atlanta. Now at St. Louis, B and the man from New York. So B is not from New York. Okay. B is not from New York. At San Francisco, C and the man from Milwaukee. So C is not from Milwaukee. Alright. Okay, so we have analyzed all these statements. Now let us start eliminating some of the cities and try to find out to exactly what city each of these people belong to. So let us now, as you can see from this sheet, the maximum data that we have is for C. So C does not belong to New York, Chicago, Tulsa, Atlanta and Milwaukee. So the only city that C can belong to is St. Louis. So let's put that down here, St. Louis. Okay. Now once we put that in here, let us mark St. Louis in some different colors. So St. Louis is already gone. So we'll put this here in, say, the red color. Okay. So St. Louis is already gone, and then what we can just get rid of this data, because now we already know the exact city for this person. So he's from St. Louis. Now once this person is from St. Louis, these people cannot be from St. Louis. So in front of A, I'll put a cross for St. Louis. Here also I'll put a cross for St. Louis. Here also I'll do the same. Okay, so now I'll shut. So here also I'll put this information, not from St. Louis. Okay. Okay, not from St. Louis. Okay. Now, as you can see here, the next piece, next person who has maximum information is A. So A 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He is not from these 5 cities. Therefore, he has to be from one of the cities. Now, what city should A be from? As you can observe, if you compare the crosses for A and the cities which are available, the only option that remains for A is Atlanta. So we'll put AT in front of A, and then we'll color AT in red. Okay. And now we'll put a cross AT for each of these people. A not from AT. We don't have to put anything for C because that is already done. Not from AT, not from St. Louis, not from AT, not from AT. Okay. Now, who has the maximum piece of maximum data? E. Okay. So E is not from Chicago, New York, Tulsa, St. Louis or Atlanta. So E has to be from Milwaukee. Okay, so let's put that information here. So MW, and then I'll color MW in red. Okay, and then I'll put a not Milwaukee, not Milwaukee, and not Milwaukee here. Okay, now the next person who has maximum information is B. B is not from Tulsa, New York, St. Louis, Atlanta or Milwaukee, so B has to be from Chicago. Okay, Chicago gone, so I'll put Chicago in red. Okay, and then here not Chicago. Okay, who has maximum information now? F. F is not from Tulsa, St. Louis, Atlanta, Milwaukee or Chicago, so F has to be from New York. Okay, so New York gone, so I'll color New York in red. So the only city that remains is Tulsa, which is for this person. Okay, right. So now we have the cities in place. Now let us go to the professions. The person from New York is a physician. So New York, here we have a New York. So this person, his background is that he is a Gulf War veteran, but he is a physician as well. Okay. Now Chicago and teacher. So person from Chicago is a teacher as well. So this is a teacher. And from Tulsa is an engineer. So we have an engineer here. Okay. So now we have this entire piece of information. Now we would be able to answer the questions which are based on this.